Now, a special moment is upon us because, well, you might have thought it had gone away, but oh no, because we are going to do the Cool Wall! Yeah! It's here! Get it, take them off.
Can't see a damn thing in those. What have we got first?
Well, we're going to start off with this. It is the Ford Focus RS. Now, this is, well, it's a brilliant car. There's no denying it.
What do you think of that?
I like it.
You like it?
Green. Good car.
Is it, yes, good, irrelevant, is it cool?
Cool.
You're cool?
Yeah.
Don't like the colour at all.
Is the car...
No.
No?
No.
No, and that's odd because he looks like he's got an Asbo.
Yeah. That is the thing about this car. It is undeniably, well, it's brilliant, is it not?
Oh, yeah,
It's very,
absolutely.
very good. But it's for the bloke who's always the first to start the singing on the aeroplane. You know, the fella, the one whose holiday sombrero is too big to get in the overhead locker, and that's what he drives.
You're wrong.
No, I'm not.
Nobody who's got one of those has ever been on an aeroplane because they always get stuck at airport security with their Asbo ankle bracelet.
I mean, it's a great car, but sadly, it's got to be.
It has got to be uncool. Now, this is a BMW Z4. We like this car.
Very much.
Not the old model, not for wife swappers. Nobody's ever slept with somebody called Muriel who's married to Frank, who has one of these. But we'd like to put it in the cool section of the board. It's resisting. Ready?
It's the weirdest thing.
The weirdest thing in the world. It won't go in the cool section, and there's a very good reason for that.
Yeah. Now, the good reason is James May has said he's thinking of getting rid of his Porsche Boxster and getting one of these. And, well, that means that's all that can happen. That's all it'll do. We can't put it anywhere else. It won't go. Pleasure versus pleasure. I like it. I thought I might have been an actual fight. Right, now, important moment, because for the first time in, I think, 2 years, we are going to do the Cool Wall! Yeah! Look, here it is.
Here it is.
Yeah.
And straight away we can see that currents have blown certain BMWs right up here into super cool, sub-zero. Things like the Z4, the M3, the 1 Series, the 5 Series, they're right up there. Not all Beamers, though. This one, the 5 Series GT.
Oh, there's
it
one
is.
there, look.
Yeah, there it is, down among the Audis in uncool.
That's a horrible thing. It's like a sort of fat old auntie. You know, the one with terrible, embarrassing flatulence that nobody dares mention.
Called Marjorie, I
Yes,
think.
it should be that.
Other changes?
Other important things are, down here, a clutch of super minis. There's the actual Mini, the Fiat 500, Citroen DS3. These are all relatively inexpensive ways of looking seriously cool. Good cars.
Now, what do we think of this? It's called the Nissan Juke. What's interesting is that you can buy a car because you want something that's practical, or something that's cheap, can you not? Or something, you want something fast. How many people do you know say, I want to buy a car that's absolutely stupid? Because that's what this is. Do you not agree that is the stupidest thing in the world?
It's ugly.
It's ugly. There's a chap back here, though, I wonder. I'm just... You know your hat? You obviously like to go out in public looking ridiculous.
Yes.
So do you like the Nissan Juke?
I don't mind it, yeah.
And so what do you drive?
Golf.
Not a diesel.
It is a diesel, yeah.
You look like that and you've got a Golf diesel. That's fantastic. Blend of many things going on there in that man's hat. Anyway, this is a hideously uncool car. And it goes down there. And speaking, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, what have you got there?
This is the Renault Wind. Now, a couple of problems here. First of all, the name. Basically, it's a Renault fart, isn't it? Really?
It is, that's what they've done.
It's
And
not
I
a good
suspect
name.
that supercar-looking body is writing cheques that the rest of the car can't cash.
But this is the Gordini version, so it's got these stripes on it. And as we all know, things with stripes on are cool. Shelby Mustangs, Tigers, toothpaste.
James May's jumpers.
That's not bad.
As a result, thank you very much. It's got stripes on it. Looks like James May's knitwear, so that goes there. Now, this is the Nissan 370Z, OK? Now, this, as far as I can work out, is for the sort of chap who likes a stag night. Me and the lads, you know, the sort of bloke. He's the sort that sends you those emails that take you 10 minutes to open and then they're not funny.
No, hang on. No. I know what you're getting at, and that's exactly why I think this is cool, because you're talking about the kind of bloke who doesn't complain because you've given him the wrong species of olive on his
The
salad.
man who has one of these has never eaten an olive in his life. He just has pork itchings.
Good.
It's a
the real
lager
deal.
lout.
Well, no, it's not. He drinks lager. What's wrong with that? That is a great
Because
car.
he
It's for a
drinks
working
Stella.
man.
Stella.
It's just lager.
It's not just
You'd be
lager.
at the bar bickering saying, oh, have you got anything Italian? I want the right one. It's
I
just...
know that this is an old
Oh,
gag, but that's
thank
going
you.
up there now. What are you going to do about that?
Thank you.
What are
That
you
old
gonna do about
favourite. Yeah.
I'm hearing a strange mooing noise. But you, again, I'm afraid you're mistaking this for a democracy, and it isn't one. It's a dictatorship. Oh dear, Hammond's gone off in a huff. Good. Anyway, now look, I want to talk about the Range Rover. If you ask me, and you're a small boy, what is the best car in the world, I will say it's a Bugatti Veyron, but the truth is... What are you doing?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Keep going. Well, that'll do. And I'll tell you what. Can you reach it there, Shorty?
Funny.
What about up here?
I can
look.
still reach that.
Look at him, he can't reach it, poor little fella. Oh, I'll tell you what, from up here it is going. I reckon about there. There you go. Hang on. What? No.
What I've just done, ladies and gentlemen, is hit the kill switch. Come on then, come down.
No, it doesn't work.
It's broken. Hammond, you see the Zonda?
Oh.
Your favourite car in the world?
Yes. No! No, that's not right!
See, let me put it down here.
What?
Check it out.
What is it I can't see? Oh,
Toyota Yaris Verso.
It's not good.
This is for people whose lives are completely empty. They're looking forward. They're looking forward to the day they die because it'll give them something to do. And they don't have sex anymore because these days, you know, we prefer sherry. And they are utterly boring and catastrophic in every single way. And they bought this, and it's the worst car I've ever seen in my life, and it's going there.
Crikey, getting that off your chest. Well, one thing. Has sherry ever led to sex? Do you get sherry sex?
Yes, I think you do.
No, sherry is the one alcoholic drink that's
With
never
anybody
led
here,
to...
I will demonstrate sherry sex to any volunteers. Could you volunteer to have sherry sex with me?
Oh, dear Lord, no, I can't...
Just bear with me, OK? Ready? No, you don't have to go very far. Ready? We're going to
This
have
is
sex
keen.
now. Sherry sex. You ready? Here we go. Good night. Sherry sex, right there. Thank you. I need a cigarette now. And now we've got a problem with this. This is the Porsche 911 Carrera, what's it called?
C2S.
C2S.
Yes.
Now, we know the rules on the cool wall, OK? If one of us has a car, it's always uncool. Both Hammond and May own this car. I don't think the board is long enough to be able to accommodate that. Now, I'm trying to work out the direction. That's east, isn't it?
Let's say that's east, that's west, yeah.
Who lives west of here? Right, where do you live? Wiltshire. Does anybody live further west than Wiltshire? Ireland? Excellent. Could you do me a favour? Could you take that home and pop it on your gatepost? Thank you very much, and then it will live there forevermore.
No, those are the rules. I can't argue with that. They are the rules.
Smashing up cars, the Americans, they're the kings. They can build amazing stuff. So why, when it comes to cars, are they so completely hopeless?
Really pretty good rear legroom, and because it was designed in America, the seats are big enough for your burger-munching, super-sized Californians.
You stop this bong by closing the door, but then when you turn the ignition on, you get a new bong. It's presumably for the American market. Remind them that they're in a car. OK, because Ford's head of noises...
The what?
Well, he's probably, you know, he's American. He'll be the vice president of noises, because they always are. He's come up with a list. It's a 1.8 two-wheel drive family hatchback designed to look like that. They're actually in trouble in America because they've been advertising and they've dubbed the V8 soundtrack over the ad.
To make it look big?
Yeah, they've just got, look at this, and it's tiny. A muscle car, a metal metaphor for America. Unbridled power with a dodgy sense of geography. This is the Chrysler Crossfire. It's basically a German Mercedes SLK that's been covered in a body that was designed by a Brit. A car America can be proud of then. The automatic version is terrible, the manual is better. I don't like the roost leather. too American, too designed for Houston dentists. I still can't believe that Switzerland banned motor racing because of an accident in another country.
Yeah, it's like Britain banning railways because a train crashed in India.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's like America invading Iraq because some Saudi Arabians destroyed the World Trade Center. Most of all is this satellite navigation system. You get a touch screen and it lets you choose your language, and you can have English UK and English US. Sort of exactly the same, but with extra adenoids. You see, the Americans have never ever been able to make a car at all. I mean, it's just not in their nature. They're rubbish at it. Everything was built down to a price and to the nearest foot. All Corvettes, all of them for the last 50 years or so, have been the same. Very pretty, but just shiversomely awful, rattly, nasty, vomit-inducing rubbish.
Morgan needs to sell more cars in America, and so the Aero 8 is about to get bigger, wider, softer and comfier. So think of this as a big, bruising bulldog having a last hump of your leg before the Americans neuter it.
Your car is American. It doesn't work here. It rides like a Corvette.
I have to say I'm with you on the ride in the BMW.
The ride, it is atrocious, isn't it?
It is a bad
This
ride.
is exactly what we were after.
Look, it's a physical experience driving that car.
We joined the action at Reno, which is...
I'd rather that than Goodyear, Stickleback and Bunsen burner, and next year I'm going up to it. I can see all the obstacles in my way. And the main obstacle is that I'm going to spend the next 5 hours on an American airline with its nasty food and its bossy stewardesses. Great. But it's not American, it's from Australia.
And the great thing about that is that because the Australians still recognise the authority of the Queen, the steering wheel is on the correct side of the car.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise, the Dodge Viper. Now, as you would expect, Uncle Sam's answer to the European hypercar has an engine that you don't measure in cubic centimetres or cubic inches. You measure it in acres.
There are places in the world that I'd rather go than America.
All of them.
Look.
Every single country in the world is better than America. I've just come back from Burma and the Ukraine, both of which are 1 billion times better than the United States.
We're not interested in the views of stupid Americans who come over here with their big video cameras saying, gee, I love your history, it's just so old. Sod off.
If you read about Los Angeles or saw it in a film, you'd think, oh, come on. But because of the jet, you can come here and say, yes, it is that silly. Doesn't bother me, though, because I'm out of here. And then there's this. Now, apparently, Mitsubishi wanted to call it the Stallion, and that's a very good name, very butch. But someone at the American advertising agency, I think, misheard. OK, Starion. We'll have the brochures printed tonight. Mitsubishi Starion. Marvellous. Why have they never sold Mustangs here?
Because they're rubbish. I think I've driven the whole range now, from the original one right up to that convertible, which we arrived in today, looking like Siegfried and Roy, as you pointed out on your mobile phone.
It wasn't a good arrival. We thought... I think the problem is they've styled them to look like the 1960s Mustangs, but they drive a bit like the 1960s Mustangs, which is not
actually
what
drove like 1940s oxen carts.
Yes, it's tricky.
Now, in America, they're leisure vehicles. The idea being that after a day's mountain biking, you chuck your hog in the back and run it home. As a result of this, they've become seen as being very trendy. As trendy even as wearing your IQ reducer back to front. Weird? Well, yeah, I know it is. But what can you expect from a nation that likes to put maple syrup on its bacon?
If you're watching this in America, I bet you're jealous. Because you don't have roads like this. Ha ha!
last week, we discovered that the Americans have finally learned how to make a decent car. This week, we've discovered that they've forgotten again. Because there's this, it's the Cadillac SRX crossover, and it's a big, massive, in fact, ugly, daft thing. Why?
Has it got 7 seats in it?
No, it's got 5.
So it's got the same number of seats as a Ford Fiesta?
Yeah, it'll cost between £28,000 and £37,000. I know, but, but the general manager of General Motors, Jim Taylor...
General Jim Taylor.
General Jim Taylor.
General manager of General Motors.
Generally says. He actually went on record saying it's the right size at the right time. It's so not, is it? It's a massive, massive car. We don't
This
want
was a
that.
man who in 1946 christened his son Adolf. It's the right name at the right time.
Timing is not his thing.
Can we make that go away from our studio?
Forever.
There it is, gone.
I strayed slightly over the speed limit there, and I was caught, and they dealt with me efficiently and courteously, as befits a civilised nation, which is, of course, what France is.
No. France is a country you have to drive through to get to Italy. That's all it's for. All right?
Look, the fact of the matter is, they've got better cheese, they've got better wine, they've got better... They
haven't got better cheese. They are a bunch of treacherous, lamb-burning Yorkshire peasants.
Have you seen this? Have you seen this bridge? What country is that in? Is it in Britain or is it in France?
It's in France.
It was
Thank
designed
you.
by an Englishman, but we're so tight-fisted we wouldn't build it here and they would.
No.
They're
It's
better
rubbish.
than us.
No, they're rude.
Look, they're
So
better than us. I promised the
they're
policeman
rude.
I'd say that.
They're rude.
Otherwise he would have taken my licence away and put me in the Bastille.
Now,
I'm not joking, they came alongside me and I looked across, thought, I'm in trouble here, and they were just going...
You really thought they were... Did it not occur in your big woolly head that maybe it was a trap?
No, you see, I trust the French.
You see,
So they weren't a bit broke.
exactly.
What sort of trap?
Well, I mean, carry on, Mr. Clarkson, and then there's a battery of cameras just under the next bridge to nobble you.
No, tallest race on earth now, the Dutch. Officially. Mind you, they do take a lot of drugs. That's why they like Top Gear so much. Hello, Dutchie. Get out of the way, you Polish lorry! Why are you cluttering up our roads with Latvian milk?
How many of those engines does AMG make by hand every year?
18,000, and that's not including the ones they make for Pagani with the Zonda.
Over 18,000
Yeah.
by hand. I mean, Fritz must be the hardest working bloke in the whole of Europe.
He is.
I can't come home tonight. I was making us a 20,000 engines. Meet my hands.
So, fingers up,
It's
one to
grand
spoon.
It's
Yeah, I know.
amazing.
There's no wonder he gets the odd one wrong. Anyway, the point I want to make here is, here we've got a government agency selling us these number plates on the basis that you can tweak around with them to make them say something else. Then you have another government agency with tall hats and plastic shoes booking you for changing your number plate round so it says stamps.
Absolutely right. Welcome to Britain.
Welcome to Britain, everybody. This is the worst country in the world.
Yes.
Now, they do use power, so I rang up Volvo and I said, what is this all about? How much do your daylight running lights, how much extra fuel does that mean you're using? And they went away and they did a calculation and they came back and they said, to be honest, it's such a tiny amount that we can't measure it. So now Audi have said, yes, but we will half it. So now it's even smaller again. And that was the Swedes who, let's face it, are a rational bunch. The Germans have made the Swedes look reckless. What sort of an achievement is that?
Because just up the road from the Mercedes factory is the German wine producing area. God doesn't like German wine, let's be honest.
So every
I'd
year,
agree on
God sends hailstorms to flatten the German vines, so we don't have to have any Blue Nun and Black Tower. And now Mercedes has gone along. We've got rid of the clouds. More German wine, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen.
It's terrifying. It's bad news.
No, but I just wondered, why don't they just, for example, build a shed?
Well, because they're German.
I was thinking if I go
This would
outside-
be simple.
If it's hailing, I don't think...
It is easier to send the Messerschmitt into the clouds and
Shoot the clouds out of the sky.
Now, did they not mention this then?
Do you know they didn't?
How odd.
It is, isn't it? Because Mercedes like to go on about their heritage and history, and they didn't mention that one.
Well, perhaps they didn't mention it because it's got Hitler in it.
I don't know.
That's not Hitler.
It is.
It isn't. No, that car was built long before indicators were invented, so he's just there to do some hand signals.
What signals are you doing there, then, James?
He's saying, take the Third Reich.
Ow! Private ticket. We've ever upset anyone.
I know. Well, there was the vicar whose trio rammed in the Toyota pickup truck.
Yeah,
and
there was.
everyone in Wales, and everyone in Birmingham, and everyone in America. We should do a car that's quintessentially German.
Well, just replace the spoons with little sausages in clips.
No. Give it trafficators that go like that. A sat-nav that only goes to Poland. And fan belts that will last for 1,000 years. They're just shooting at me because my car's Japanese. It's racism. Now, this is a half French, half Italian car. That's a worry. You see, when the French and the Italians come together to do cooking, that's great. When they come together to make a car, run. Run for your life.
The interesting thing about the French nation, I think because they are essentially peasants and communists, is that they are quite good at the fairly small and fairly simple car.
We all know why it is. It's because Lamborghini are owned by Audi, so the Germans do the actual building of the cars, and then they let the Italians do the brochure. So they're just filling the numbers. It's got 1 million horsepower, yes. 100,000, it's invisible, and it's got cannons.
What are they going to do?
Oh, that'll be easy. Well, they're Italian, aren't they? They'll just lie. That's what they do. Someone said, emissions is very important. Is it low or high? Low. OK, my emissions is 1. And that's it. And that's how they'll just lie.
They will just lie. Well,
remember, we thought we'd said goodbye to Lada. I think about 97 when they finally went away. No more horrible Russian cars made out of turnips. Well, they're back with this. Oh, look at our glorious new car. I mean, clearly, this is poor. Very, very poor. The best thing about it is, I mean, it's obviously rubbish just looking at it, but they've decided to model it on other cars to compete directly with them. So they've built it to compete with the Fiat Brava and the Toyota Stara. Both of which are cars that aren't built anymore.
So they're competing with cars that were out of
confident
date.
of winning this competition. And it's just... if you see what those coming, run. They are absolutely awful.
Are they going to be sold in Britain?
Well, certainly in bits of Europe. They'll cost about $3,000, all of which you will lose the moment you take the whole lot. Worthless.
Top Gear, top tip, avoid.
But it is beautiful. Look.
Porsche 911. And it's going to die. That hurt. You can take a shotgun to the side of a 911. You can throw things at it. You can kick it. You can even douse it in acid. Ooh, eat. Eat. The Porsche 911. And here it is, a Volkswagen Beetle in running shoes. Disappointed?
Gutted, that's it.
Lass, Edie Beetle.
Yeah.
Don't be disappointed. Well, there we are. I'm going slowly and it feels just like all Porsche 911s. Which means it feels just like a Volkswagen Beetle. Air-cooled engine, in the wrong place. Plastic dashboard, knobs like boiled sweets. Hard to see what the fuss is about, really. Now, there we are. Look, we've already had the 911 GT3 RS round.
What, and you're not going to show the lap?
Nobody's interested in watching an American big sawn in half by a glorified Beetle. It did. And I should also ignore my prejudices. You see, I think a Ferrari is a scaled-down version of Golf. And a Porsche 911 is a jumped-up Volkswagen Beetle. This appeals to someone who is 5.
Yes.
Yours appeals to someone who is 55 and thinks it won't work in a minute. This is for somebody who has taste, refinement, Come on, James, you have to admit 911s are a bit tragic.
No, they're not tragic, Jeremy. They are proper sports cars for discerning enthusiasts who know what they're talking about.
That's what they're supposed to be, but they're just cod pieces for gentlemen whose sausages have started to wilt.
Don't be...
It's supposed to hark back to the iconic 2.7-litre RS from 73, and it doesn't.
What do you mean, iconic?
Well, that's what Porsche people do.
I decided at this...
And it'll cost a very reasonable £70,000. Going on sale in 2005. So, have you just ordered a Porsche 911 recently?
Do you know, I think he's right.
Hey, you know Porsche, right? Laziest design studio in the world. New 911, exactly the same as the old one. Porsche Boxster, they designed the front, thought, oh, we'll have that at the back as well.
Yeah, I think they just folded, but they did the back and then they went, there you go, folded the page over. It's the same.
Well, guess what? They've come up with an all-new model, and here it is. And what they've done is they've taken the Boxster and put a roof on it.
Well, not just that, they just stuck a 911 roof
Yeah.
on it. Look, it's
unbelievably lazy design there. Hey, now, you know Porsche is always saying that they don't ever really restyle the 911 because they want to maintain that sense of purity and tradition.
Yes.
I don't think that's true. I think they don't restyle it properly is because they can't. They have no idea at Porsche how to restyle cars. Because if you think about it, the four-wheel drive, it's the Cayenne, isn't it?
Yes.
The Cayenne looks like a 911 that's been reversed into a shed, yes? And now, you know, the thing is, OK, it'll go like a 911, cost about the same as a 911, but you don't have to be a moron to drive one. Like James and Richard both have 911s.
We are back at work, aren't we?
We are back at the playground.
We are.
Shall I talk you through the 911991 range? You have the Carrera 2, Carrera 2 Cabriolet, Carrera 2S, Carrera 4 Cabriolet, Carrera 4S, Carrera 4 Targa, Carrera 4S Cabriolet, Carrera 4S Targa, GTS, GT3, GT3 RS, and then the Turbo, which is that one.
Have you missed one out there? I'm just thinking.
No, it's the Carrera 2, Carrera 2S. Oh, he's here. Anyway, this is the Turbo, and this is the fastest.
You all know what I think of the air-cooled 911. Not much. It has the same problem as the Beetle. Engine in the wrong place, Nazi origins, nasty handling.
I hope we remember to turn the gas off. Isn't that the most outrageously satisfying thing you ever saw? See you next time.
This